Promotions. Take it away, Candy.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Front Row. It's Thursday night. We really appreciate you being here. For everyone watching, we got your rock right here because we are joined by Todd Howarth. You might know him from Friends Comment. You might know him from Ted Nugent. You might know him from Playing with Cheap Trick and a smattering of others. Todd, it's been a while. How you doing? Welcome to Front Row Promotions.
Thank you very much, Candy, and thank you, Lisa. I'm doing pretty
You're
good.
welcome. Yes.
I'm a little beat up and tired from all my events and things I was doing today, and some of it even music. My hair is still here; it's in a ponytail, but I didn't have time to go home and powder up and anything, so I just had to throw it in a ponytail. And yeah, I can't look as good as Lisa, at 9:00 in the night. So whatever.
Hey, there you go.
Thank you.
So glad to be here, and thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Welcome to Front Row. We're so happy to have you here. It's been about a year since we last spoke. I know there's a lot that's been going on with Mr. Todd Howarth. So why don't you share with us what's been going on?
Well, I was doing, of course, that was 4x Fate. I was doing 4x Fate a few years back, and we did a CD, and we're doing some tours, and then that kind of plateaued. So we had Return of the Comet.
Nice.
And that, let's see, let me back up. With 4x Fate, we had John Regan from Frehley's Comet in there, Rob Affuso from Skid Row on drums, and Pat Gasparini on guitar and songwriting and some vocals. And we had a blast with that band. And then we moved on to the next project, which was Return of the Comet. And we had Richie Scarlett in there, John Regan again, and Steve Budgie Warner on drums. And we ran that pretty good for a while, short run actually, until the COVID hit, and that screwed everything up. And then all the time I've been working on my solo stuff, my 3 solo CDs and my autobiography, and so I took the time off that then to do to finish up the CDs. I got those done just in time to do another show at Cruise Fest here just recently. In California, in San Pedro, actually. I was surprised when Joe D'Angelo called me up and said, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I'm like, "What? You're here in California? Yeah, I don't have to fly anywhere or do a red eye. Yes, I'll do that." So it was fun. At the same time, I got my CDs sent to the hotel. They were done 2 days before I did the show, and I got them there delivered. All these boxes delivered to the hotel, and everybody's going, "Man, you're pretty optimistic about selling all your CDs here, aren't you?" But it's been busy. Got them done. I wanted to have my autobiography done as well, but that didn't work out. It's going to be it's done, but I have to self-edit and then do a professional edit, and then I've got to package it. And I also I'm going to solicit the fans to start sending in pictures that they have that maybe I don't have or never seen before to include the book. And I'm not going to be able to pay them, of course, but I'll definitely credit them if they're good enough or obscure enough, that type of thing. But that's another subject. But I've been, just busy as can be. And there's other stuff I'm taking care of too, as far as the family commercial real estate business, which keeps me on my toes. And I'm always go, go, go. I never slow down. And a lot of my friends, they don't understand how I managed to do it, and neither do I really, but just go, go, go. For an old guy, I'm still moving.
Oh, well, that's good. That's a good thing. We like that. Yeah. We make sure you're still here with us, and we love that. Yes. There's some love out there.
Thank you.
Right.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I think, yeah, there we go.
Does this look like a heart? No.
Take 2 C's.
That looks like something else we won't even mention, but okay. I can't bend my thumb right now because I rolled over a gate wheel over it, so I chipped a bone in it. So that's another story. But anyhow, what's your next question?
Well, for our viewers, because I had a whole different audience on Mongo, but for our viewers, why don't you take everybody back to your early days? What made you want to start this type of a career? What motivated you to pursue a career in the arts?
Well, after discovering Dirt and Fire, I thought I'd pursue the wheel. And back then in my old age.
Oh, no.
No, when I was when I was young, my dad used to listen to a lot of big band music, and he was never into Elvis Presley or any of that type of stuff that I knew of, or Frank Sinatra. And I used to listen to all the orchestrations in his. He had a reel to reel in the back of his old Cadillac. He's a car buff.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
so I used to sit there and watch that thing, spin around and around and listen to music. And because I had musical ears, I didn't know at the time, but I used to listen to all the sounds and the orchestrations, and I could hear all the instruments, blending. And I was just marveled at what I didn't know what they were, but cellos and strings and woodwinds and timpani drums or whatever. And I was fascinated by that. So fast forward, I ended up living with my aunt and uncle for a little bit because my parents had separated, divorced, and my older cousin came home one day from school screaming about, oh, they're going to be on TV. They're going to be on TV. And they were the Beatles, 1964.
Oh, wow.
So, and I remember sitting there watching them like, oh, yeah, those are, and I was only 6 years old, I guess, maybe 6, 7. And the girls are screaming. And I know this is something good. I want girls screaming for me. I want girls chasing me. And eventually it did happen. But and at the same time I started listening to music, I started drawing because I'm an artist. I do illustrations and paint and that type of thing as well. So I got into it, and by the time my dad married my stepmom, she had a piano. I started tinkering around on it, and my mom said, or my new stepmom at that time said, "Well, can you sing this note?" And I'd sing that note. She goes, my dad, he's got perfect pitch. He needs to take piano lessons. My dad's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. He needs to get out there and get a job, So
that's what my dad would have said too, like get out there and make some money, damn it. Yeah.
Get out there and hook. Get out there. I don't care if you're a boy, get out and show your leg on the street. Oh, like Jesus. No, nothing like that. So I took lessons and I started singing and I started playing and I speeded it up, in the high school. I got my hands on, I was playing piano, then I got my hands on a drum set because drummer friend set up his drums at my parents' house and left them there. I'm like, ooh, great. I'd beat the hell out of those things when he was gone. And then I got my hands on a guitar. One of my dad's employees for a carpet cleaning company. He was a guitarist, and he had this double neck bass and a guitar. So I was playing with that for a while and all the time listening to records, at that time and writing little simple songs on the piano and eventually joining bands I was always playing music, but I was always into off-road and motors and that type of thing. So I ended up doing a lot of motocross, never professionally, but riding a lot of off-road desert stuff in my teen years. And I never really got serious about music until I think I was probably about 19, 20. No, I take it back, probably around 21. And I thought, I'm going to really pursue this music thing. And I was not really good then, but I knew I had something and that I could write songs. And I eventually moved to LA from San Diego here where I am now. Again, I moved to LA in 1979, late 79, early 80 to pursue my career. And that's when I ended up joining the band 707 in late 1980 or early 81, I believe.
And that was your very first band that you joined?
Very first major recording act that I joined. And I remember seeing them at a place called the Starwood in LA. I was like, whoa, and they weren't quite as heavy as I wanted because I was into Van Halen at that juncture. I was into Van Halen and all the heavy stuff, really dark and heavy type material. Right. But then I heard that a story about 707 is I heard that they were letting go of their keyboard player that played guitar and wrote songs and sang some lead. And people said, hey, you ought to do that because that's what you do. And so I got a hold of the managers and I said, look, I can do all this stuff too. And they said, oh, damn, we just hired a guy for the tour. And I was like, And they said, well, we'll keep your number. We'll get in touch with you in case this guy doesn't work out. And I'm thinking, yeah, sure you will. But they did. And they called me like four months later. and said, we have a spot for you if you want to come audition. So I learned all the songs. I had all my keyboards, my guitar, and I learned all the background vocals. I wasn't singing lead. I drove my neighbors nuts in Venice Beach, California. Then it was a little safer than it is now. And I auditioned the first time. My hair was brown. It was real long because that's the real color of my hair, brown, And it was
brown
real
like
long.
Or brown like candies.
Well,
and it was real long,
mine isn't going to be brown for that much longer, let me tell you.
Yeah. I wish I could do mine purple or pinkish. Pinkish on the tips.
Yeah,
maybe.
why not?
Yeah, there you go.
This happened in London, so I kept it that way back when I was with Nugent. No, 707. I don't know. But anyhow, so I went there. I did the audition. I was a little too Hollywood for him, but the managers loved me. They said, "Look, come back next week, tone it down, be more like they are, and a little less Hollywood." And I did that, and then they loved me. So I got into the band, and that was my first major recording act.
Awesome.
Wow. That's
somebody says his voice shined on It's Over Now with Ace. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is that Susan Burton?
That's my mom.
Your mom?
Yes, hi, Mom.
My mother.
Hi, Ma. Thank you. Oh, she says hello. Cheers. She has a glass of wine. Yes.
Cheers.
So yeah, for everyone commenting, if you're commenting via Facebook, do us a huge favor and put your name next to your question.
Yeah,
sometimes
StreamYard's not showing.
Yeah, StreamYard sometimes can act a little weird, and we don't know exactly who's commenting. So if you wouldn't mind putting your name next to the comment, that would be great. But keep those comments coming, keep those questions coming. If you've got anything that you're curious about and want to ask Todd, I'm sure he's an open book tonight. We'll answer whatever he can answer.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, getting back to It's Over Now, I wrote that song for Cheap Trick to do back in 1986. And they listened to it, and they were like, whoa. And the manager loved it. He thought, and the manager kept coming to me and said, are they going to do the song? And I said, well, no, I think no, they passed on it, but I think it's because it's too much keyboards for them, So I held on to it, obviously, and then I showed John Regan in Fraley's Comet after I joined the band, and he was going, "Holy moly, we got to do that for the next album." So I said, "Yeah, great, that'd be phenomenal,"
So how did you get involved with Fraley's Comet?
Well, when I was playing with Cheap Trick, we did a lot of tours, of course. And one of the tours we were touring with John Waite from the Babies fame, And John Waite was, he's a phenomenal singer, and he was. I love the Babies, so I was like, oh, cool, John Waite, So I used to listen to their sound checks, and the band was phenomenal, and they sounded huge, and I'm a big fan of drums and bass because I like the bottom end backbeat. So I came up to the bass player, who would be John Regan, and I, introduced myself. And he says, "Yeah, I know who you are. So I see you up there singing your butt off, and dubbing the high harmonies with Robin Zander, and doing the high harmonies, with Rick, whatever." And so we got to talking, and I said, "Yeah, I play mostly guitar now, but I'm still doing keyboards, and I also sing lead, obviously, and write songs." And he said, "Really?" He says, "Well, I'm working on a project right now, and I can't tell you who it is because kind of, hush hush and all that stuff. But let's exchange information before the tour ends, and I'll get in touch with you." So, like about 4 months later, I think he did get in touch with me. He said, "Look, we consolidating the band, and who I'm working with is Ace Frehley from Kiss, a band called Fraley's Comet, and I think you'd be a good addition to the band." And I see Becca. Hey, Becca, how you doing? I know Becca. She lives here locally, I believe.
Oh,
She's,
nice.
Awesome. Hi, Becca. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for
watching. If this is the right Becca, she was at the show in. We did the San Pedro, and she was on stage, I think. Matter of fact, I think she threw stuff at me, but I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's how I got into Fraley's Comet, and that lasted about a year. a year old, a year and a half, I believe. And until the tour financially fell apart, and I decided I better run out and do my own thing, and it that became real rough time period for everybody, because that at that point in time, here comes grunge, and they're kicking everybody's ass. I
Oh,
see another friend, Mark. Hey, Mark Paxton. There, I know that he's one of my sister's friends. I love you too, brother.
Hey,
thanks. Hey, Todd,
but,
thank you for watching.
Yeah, it's been such a long road, so many years, and like I'm working on the book, and hello, New Jersey, and
Hi, New Jersey.
The thing about something like in my book, I have to put a disclaimer like everything's not necessarily sequential because I'll get time periods mixed up, from the events of whatever band I'm playing with, and that's I'm not going to say it's because I'm old or anything, but you never.
Sorry I got to jump in here for a second. That was actually Steve Bello that says hello from New Jersey. He's actually joining us next week on Front Row Promotions.
Hi,
so,
Steve.
Hey,
Cool.
Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, thank you for watching.
I love Steve.
I hear buzzing phones. He's probably calling.
My phone was buzzing, but it buzzes all the time. It's like notifications, and I've got to find a way to turn it off.
It goes.
Mine
haywire,
says take your pills now, sir.
Oh no.
No.
So
Don't take vitamins.
So I'm really curious because I'm a huge fan of Aces, and I loved what you did with him and Fraley's Comet. But I'm really curious to find out. I heard he's a prankster. Has he ever played any pranks on you?
Yeah, he was. Yes, he is that type of. He pulled. He does a lot. He did a lot of stuff in the past. He didn't really do a lot of stuff with us. I think he probably wore it all out with Kiss, from the 70s. And for the first part of Fraley's Comet, he was so focused and driven on getting it really done and getting his new material out there, and not a lot of pranks, but he had great sense of humor, and he took himself seriously when it was necessary, but he wasn't over serious, and so it worked out to be still entertaining,
Right. No, that's awesome. So what were some of your favorite memories, playing with? I know you said it's only been a year and a half since you had played with them.
Right.
But what do you remember most? Like, what do you take away from that experience?
Well, the fun thing was when I got into recording the first record, because it was already in the process of being recorded. And I get in there and I'm playing with John Regan and Anton Fig, and it's like, oh my God.
Look at that comment.
And yeah, that's not all that happened, Beck. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm blabbing everybody, all this stuff. But it was fun recording the basic tracks because Anton is a monster drummer, and even Becca got to see Anton play, and he's 70 years old, and he's still
a legend.
Yeah, and then when Ace came in, it was a whole different style of playing that I was used to. But it was huge. It was bigger than I thought it would sound. And of course, John Regan is just a god on bass, and I play really backbeat on the guitar as well. So it's just really heavy band, heavier than people realize. And so that was fun recording it, and then singing lead and writing some songs, even for the first album, was phenomenal. And then doing the tours and being a part of a band with top-notch player was an indelible memory for me. I mean, 707 was a real band, obviously, and I was part of that. Cheap Trick was, that was their band. I was a hired gunslinger, and then Ted Nugent pretty much the same thing, Notice how this guy's not working so well. I went, yes,
no.
That was kind of hurting right now. Going down for the count.
And then when we went to London, I think that was phenomenal because that was the peak of Second Sighting, and people they had heard my song "Something Moved," and when I cranked that thing up, the intro in Hammersmith Oden, and everybody went roaring. It's like, holy shit, they know the song, and they're singing along and they're chanting along. People had lighters or torches or whatever the hell they did back in that day, and it was just phenomenal. It warmed my heart that they knew the songs, and it was just such a good feel. And there's plenty of times, when that heartwarming part came up, because those were things that I had aspired to do, all these things all those years, and I thought, I'm finally here. This is going to happen for quite some time, and of course, unfortunately, it did not. And your mom wants to know if I'm playing up in Toronto. I don't know yet. It's a possibility. I'm going to be actually doing some acoustical appearances here and there with the band yet. I'm not really entirely sure. I would love to. It depends on what happens in the climate, but thank you, Mom, for asking.
We have similar questions. We have similar questions in that respect, because shit.
So she's interview blocking you right now, then.
We need you to come up here. I want to see you play, and I need you to sign my Fraley's Comet album.
I promise you, I will do that.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
I will use this pin right here. This one right here. You bet.
So tell me about how you got involved with Ted Nugent. The
Nugget.
The Nugget. The
Motor City Madman.
Yeah.
He's a cartoon. He really is a cartoon. But he's a great guy. I mean, when I was touring with 707, we played with a lot of bands over the course of 3 years, mostly on tour, big tour with REO and REO Speedwagon on their High Infidelity tour, which was just the biggest tour to date I've ever done. I mean, the smallest was 8,000. The biggest was the Summerfest, and they could get up there, what was the stadiums that held 40,000 people. I don't even know, but it was just a sea of people. So we were playing with all kinds of people, big bands, including Ted Nugent. And Ted Nugent liked 707 because, Ted's from Michigan, and 707, the origin of 707, and the members came out of Livonia, I believe Livonia, Detroit area. And so, Ted had an affinity with that, and he liked the way we played. And eventually he wanted for us to be on tour with him. But also when we left our manager, he wanted to manage us with his co-manager, Doug Banker. So that's how that happened. And it went for a while until 707 fell apart for various reasons, including the record label problems. Neil Bogart passed away at the time.
Yeah.
Who was handling us. So at the end of that, that was in '83, and I ended up. Ted eventually asked me and Kevin Russell, the guitar player, to sing backgrounds on the Penetrator album, because he ended up doing his record in the record plant in Mill Valley. And I think our guys, some of the guys helped him get the deal to record there. And he used a lot of Billy Squire's band at that time. But we sang back up. Yeah. And then after that, everything fell to crap. So I moved back down here to San Diego in late '83. Well, I get a call in '84. Yeah, January '84. And Ted said, hey, I'm going to do a tour in Europe and the States. You want to come play keyboards and guitar? Because he knew what I could do. I said, yeah, that'd be great. So I flew out there, and he thought I had the new album, and I landed there. They picked me up, and I went to his house. I stayed at his place, and with all the taxidermy staring at me, and he said, well, you know the songs, right? You got the record. I said, no, nobody sent me a record. He goes, nobody sent you a record. Okay, well, you know some of the standards. Here's the record. Go over and over the night, and here's a record player and headphones, little amplifier. I'm like, okay. So I stayed up all night programming the keyboard and learning parts and all that type of stuff. And I got it pretty good. I was thrown into the fire got it pretty good. I had very little sleep and bashed it out. I think we had a little less than 2 weeks rehearsal, and we flew to. I think we started in France or England. I forget where it was, but we did Europe for a few months. Then we came back, did the States for another 4 months, and that's how I got with Ted.
That's awesome.
Oh,
And so
Becca
that was-
says, we were awesome at Cruise Fest. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got to hang out a little bit with Becca and Patrick, I think it was, and a bunch of people backstage. It was a lot of fun. This Cruise Fest we just did with Anton Fig, a new guitar player, Keith Robert War, who's a phenomenal guitar player, and he does ace to a T. And then we have Brad Lang on bass, who plays with the Bullet Boys. And a few other, yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yes.
John Regan couldn't make it, so Joe D'Angelo got Brad Lang to do it. And we had one rehearsal before the show, this last show. We had one rehearsal. We all did our homework, at home, and then we got together and figured out the endings and tried to remember them the best we could.
Okay.
But it went pretty damn good, and we had a blast doing it, So, but yeah, that was fun. I'm answering and responding to some of the text here. So fantastic.
Whatever that means.
Laughlin or Bullhead? Let's see. I know Bullhead, and I've been to Laughlin. I go to Lake Havasu mostly. I have no idea what this question means.
Okay, so
San
whoever
Pedro
posted
was
that,
the show.
please post.
Elaborate more info.
Yeah, more info, and we need your name as
That's
well.
like saying Steinberger or Gibson. I played Steinberger.
Coke or Pepsi? Ah,
there you go. Hey, hang on.
Coke or Pepsi? There we go.
As long as they have vodka in it, I don't care.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
That works. Soda.
Yep.
If you ever, I don't know if they have this in your neck of the woods, but go and look for what's it called? Salted caramel Crown Royal, and mix it in with some Coke or Pepsi. It's so good.
That sounds decadent. I had an idea for peanut butter vodka, and if anybody steals it, I'm going to sue you. But they do
peanut butter vodka.
Peanut butter whiskey came out a few years back, and it's phenomenal.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yum.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sounds tasty. Yeah.
It is.
So, your time with Ted Nugent, remind me how long that was and when it was?
That was in 84, all of 84.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good year. I
Yeah.
graduated in that year. Yes.
I'm asking because I had.
Were you
Kiss
born
on
then?
No, I was born in. I'm not saying it. I'll say it off the air. But anyway, no, I'm asking because I saw Kiss on the farewell tour. They came to Toronto, and Ted Nugent had opened up for them that night.
Oh.
So I was just wondering if you were in the band with him.
No, I almost ended up playing with him later on, but I ended up playing with several different bands, and in between those bands, I was working day jobs and whatever because I had a young family and responsibilities and kids to take care of. So I jumped from band to band depending on who wanted me, and there was several bands that wanted me to play with them over the years, which is going to be in my autobiography that I'll allude to, I should say.
I'm just okay, Lisa, go to the board and post the very last comment because it's a follow-up to
there we go.
Unsure. There you go. And then afterwards go to there's a
to the one up.
Becca.
Yeah.
If I come up there, it would be up there. Laughlin and Bullhead. Well, of course, it'd be the Bullhead city. I've got family up there. Mark, one of my sister's friends, asking if I'm coming up there. I would like to come up there. I thought I've told my sister I may end up jumping on the Harley and coming up there at one point or another, but it may not be until next year at one point. Time is my biggest enemy because I get up pretty early. I'm a musician and all that, but I don't sleep in. Like tomorrow, I got to get up at 4:40 in the morning. This morning, I got up at 5:30. I usually get up about 5:30, 6 o'clock anyhow, and then do everything I need to do. But getting back to a visit, I'll probably be coming up to Bullhead who knows? I gotta get up there and and, uh, and see my mom's urn because one of my sisters has our mother's urn up there, and I've got another sister that lives up there, and I've got an aunt that lives up there, and I don't gamble much anymore because I've done most of that in the music industry, you know.
Oh, Jesus.
It takes a lot of money. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Oh,
Yeah.
and I think there was a question from Becca as
Okay,
well.
next question is up here. Let me.
There we go. Yeah, so that's from Becca. How many instruments do you play, Todd?
I play all of. I mean, I play guitar. Obviously, I mean, people know guitar, keyboards. I play drums. Sometimes I can play pretty well. Other times it's like, you're fired. You know. And then I play bass. I love playing bass. Bass is a lot of fun. I won't be playing it today. But 4 instruments, I guess, you know, and I play baritone guitars too, which are big strings and they're tuned down an octave below regular guitars. I'll play anything I get my hands on. I did want to learn saxophone a long time ago, but I never had the time or the money to consistently take lessons. But you know, that was enough on my plate. And then with the singing and songwriting, because like on all 3 of my solo CDs, which we'll talk about soon, I'm playing all the instruments, doing everything. So I do that because it's a challenge and it's fun. Usually, it's also convenient because if I want to go record, like I've got my big studio here, but I've got a smaller studio downstairs that I've been using for the last couple of years. It's easier for me to just go in and go, okay, I'm going to lay this down, or I'm going to do the drum tracks for this, or guitar, the keyboard orchestration, I'm going to sing, blah, 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 and get it all done. This will probably be the last time I do this because it is a lot of work. And next thing, if I do anything, I have a real band.
There you go.
There you go. Awesome.
We have a special guest. He has a question for you. Eric Carr.
Oh, Eric, what's going on?
Eric wants to know what's your preferred brand of drums that you like to play, if any.
Well, any ones that are free, anyone that get my hands on. I don't even have a drum set anymore. I just have I use electronic drums because it's expedient. The expediency of recording is pretty quick. And I can also tune them to anything I want, make different sounds, and process them at a quicker rate. Matter of fact, in this very room, right over here in this corner, I played real drums on 3 of my solo CDs that I recorded actually in this room. I did Cobalt Parlor here, Opposite Gods, and Winter, and a little bit of Silhouette, actually all of Silhouette, so 4. But I don't know. If I was, and I want to get I'd like to get a drum set, but I'd have to go sit down and go, let me see these drum sets. I'd like to bang on them for a while. And, why they forget what I like.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
But it's my ears ring. This one rings a lot now, so it's easier to stay away from loud noises as much as possible.
I hear you. Lisa, go for it. Keep it going, Lisa.
Yeah. So, what was your first concert that you went to?
That would be here in San Diego at the San Diego Sports Arena, which I've never played. It's just right. I mean, our property is just like 2 streets over from the San Diego Sports Arena, which is the Midway District. And the reason I never got to play there, I'm jumping around in the question here, but
it's okay.
It was with 707, and we were playing with REO Speedwagon, and they came through here, and we were supposed to do that leg of the tour, but we were in the studio in San Francisco recording the Bridge. I think the album was The Bridge that got shelved and never got released until decades later. But my first concert was over there, and I believe it was either Alice Cooper or Neil Young at that time.
Nice.
$1 babies. Yeah.
Anytime
that
our
was
guests
my
bring
first
up-
concert as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Anytime our guests bring up Alice Cooper, I always have to throw in that I actually used to be a stage actress for a Cooper tribute a number of years
Really?
ago. Yeah,
That's
it
so
was
cool.
fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it could be. I can see that. Yeah.
But yeah, I got my neck sliced and lived to
I was
tell
gonna
the
say,
tale. Yep, got my neck sliced, blood everywhere, and I was able to live it to tell the tale. So there you go.
perfect.
So what did you like? So what did you like about touring? What's your favorite memory, or what do you like most?
Let's see. The getting on stage is the most fun part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
The older you get, it's like everything's a pain in the ass until you get on stage, and it's fun because people are waiting there to hear you make noise.
Right.
But
Right.
for when I was younger and single, it was fun because you're traveling, you're seeing things you've probably never seen before, including some very beautiful women. Oh God, the women. But and getting on stage and playing the music and having the fans appreciate that, and then doing the record store when they had record stores and records, and doing the signings and the autographs and that type in stores. It was just a lot of fun. And sometimes you'd wake up in the hotel rooms, and I would wake up sometimes and I had no idea what light was coming and where the hell am I? And why is that light there? Because I'm in a hotel room. That's right. That type of thing. And the tour buses were fun. I've done all kinds of touring, jet tours, tour buses, van touring, not so much fun. And then with every different band, we've had a different mode of travel depending on the budget or, how we could afford to do what we were doing at that point in time. But it was fun and experiencing the cities and day offs. Like when I was with Cheap Trick, Tom Peterson and I would hang together a lot on days off, and we just walk around the city and go to different places and view different things. He had a weird sense of humor and entertainment. And we went to this museum of old medical devices, and we walk in there like, what are we doing in here? Like, I don't know, but this stuff's cool, isn't it? It was so weird. They're looking. We also go to Frank Lloyd Wright houses, depending on the city we're in, which is great. And every band, you always have people you hang out with because it's fun, and that's what we did when I was hanging with Cheap Trick and Tom Peterson. And then in the tour bus with those guys, we'd have gambling up front after the show with Robin, Bunny, me, some of the Victim, and we play, poker or in between or a blackjack, and then in the back of the bus, Rick would be back there. We'd watch movies, and if one of his sons or kids were on there, we'd beat his kids up, and have fun back there. That kind of fun stuff. Tour buses were fun, but all kinds of stories like that.
That's awesome.
What was one of the craziest things that happened during on the tour?
Oh, well,
any crazy story?
Yeah, I was. Let's see, who was I with? I was with Frehley's Comet, and not really musical stuff. I mean, because it just that stuff all seemed to blend. But with Frehley's Comet, I was in the tour bus, and I kept hearing. I was sleeping in the bunks, and I kept hearing when we make a left turn, I'd hear the tires go wom 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 like that, and I'm a gearhead, so I'm listening, going, okay, that's a retread about to come off. So I told the bus driver, who was this big guy. I mean, I love truckers and drivers because that's a hard business, and
right.
But I told him, he looked at me because I was a skinny little blonde guy, going, you're about to lose a tire on your bus. He's like, yeah, shut up. You gotta lie down. High on your drugs or whatever you hippies are doing. So the very next day, we were driving along, and boom, it blew out. And I walked up and said, "Oh, and he just looked like,
I told you so. Damn it.
And that was one time. Then another time in a tour bus, we had two of them with Cheap Trick, and it was the dead of winter, and the transmission or the axle blew out in one, so we all had to get into the one bus. There was like, the band and crew in one bus and a bunch of people, and that was uncomfortable, and everybody was really happy about that. Other crazy things. Fraley's Comet. We were in one of the tour buses towards the end of a leg, and our bus, the tour manager said to us, "He says, okay, I didn't want to tell you guys this initially, but this bus that we're in right now, you're sitting in the bus that Randy Rhoads' plane hit and careened off, and he was killed in."
Oh,
And
shit.
Jesus. And I'm like, really? And yeah, we didn't want to tell you first, bad juju. And I'm like, well, that's probably a very good idea, but it's kind of eerie, That was kind of a weird
feeling.
thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then in England, of course, touring all the castles and the dungeons and the underground, the necropolis of castles there. That was fascinating to me. And then the French Alps and in France, and Nugent used to like to. We did the driving in Nugent.
Yeah.
And then you discovered I could drive a car, so we were like, the Autobahn.
I love it.
But we stopped in the middle of the night. We were going from somewhere to somewhere, and Nugent never stopped talking. And he didn't do any drugs or drink, but he never shut the hell up either. So that's how he kept himself awake, we're driving. And we're driving, and we stopped at this some German bratwurst, place, restaurant. And I'm pretty sure that we get out, we're all filing in there, and I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to be in the menu in this place. It looks like they chop people up here and serve them,
Ooh.
But it was good food for what it was. And then go to the restroom, you go out to the shack out back. And it was a shack, and you open the door, and there's no toilets. There's a porcelain area with
round piece,
hole. So, so I guess everybody just drops trow and squats over this hole to be perfectly crappy. And of course, my imagination is going, I'm not going to squat down there because something's going to come up and grab my junk and pull me down in there, and I'll never be seen from again, So that was like, I was not into that. Yeah, there's so many stories, but let's see. Of the great musicians, past and present, who would be your super band? Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's her favorite question to ask.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I'm a big Zeppelin fan. I would, but I'm also a big Jeff Beck fan. And I was a big fan of Eddie Van Halen. Drums would probably hear that motorcycle on the freeway. That's hard. I'm not prepared for that. There's too many people to draw from. But God, I played with one of the best drummers ever, Anton Fig. But if I was, I like, oh God, I'm stumped. I couldn't do that right now.
You want to come? We'll come back to that question.
Yeah, let me take my notes here.
Well, speaking of fun questions, why don't we go into that segment, Lisa?
Okay, then we come back. I have a few other different questions for later, but yes, definitely, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, what's next?
All right,
go ahead,
fun
Candy.
Question for you, Todd. If you were stranded on a desert island, what 5 items would you want to bring with you? It could be practical, it could be whatever you want, anything.
Well, one would have to be a guitar, acoustic guitar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have one. I got to learn how to play it.
Yeah. I love acoustic guitar. I mean, because everything just resonates and you can do everything on it.
Yeah.
What'd you say? 5 objects?
Yeah.
Okay. Piano will be the other one. Piano, and guitar. Vodka. That's continuous. So, right? Okay.
Yes.
So, piano, guitar, vodka. I'm gonna say my wife.
Good answer. Good answer.
I don't want to be locked out tonight.
There you go. Or sleeping on a sofa.
Is
Yeah.
she watching? Is she watching? Do you know?
She's actually working. She's a workaholic. She's corporate. So now she may be watching. I don't know if she says, "I know what you said, asshole." Then I don't know if she was watching.
What's your wife's name?
Valerie.
Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
And then so that's 4. And I would probably have to go with some type of food. Of course, probably a fishing pool because I'd have to catch the fish because I love fish. So I'm in like 3. So that's 5. Fishing pole. I forgot to mention bait, but I guess I'd have to spear some fish for bait. But that would be it. As long as I can still create.
There you go. That's awesome. Becca actually commented. If you want to just pull that comment up, Lisa, when you get a second.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. It works. There you go. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Patsy, she says the new solos CDs are awesome. Thank you. I sent her some. She was one of the first to jump on them when they were for sale. And
nice.
She was blown away. And when she read that I was playing all the instruments, it again, it's a challenge. It's fun. I get very tired of my drumming. I will say that because there's some things I stumbled upon that were phenomenal drum beats, like especially in the in the Easy Listening CD. This is the Coastal Canvas CD. It's more like more easy, acoustic guitar and piano, and I could do different type of drum syncopations and stuff, and that was fun. The rock stuff is fairly easy until I have to come up with new things. And I'm really hard on drummers, so for me, I fired my ass every day, but had to rehire it the next day. So that was miserable. But it was fun. It was fun.
And there's that other comment from Becca.
Oh, good, Kesha. Yeah. It's you only make that mistake once. But if I was single, it'd be some maybe a Kate Beckinsale or Kate Beckinsale. Or Kate Beckinsale. She'd be good to be there.
Lisa, go for it. Your question.
All right. Hey, yeah. Okay, so if you were in a hot tub time machine, set the dial. Where are you going?
Oh, I would definitely knowing what I know now, that's got to be a caveat right there. I would probably go back to probably the early 70s. Because that would be, musically, if I'm thinking on the music level, because then I could emulate and have fun with music that I grew up with, already knowing it. And it'll be fun to go back to the early 60s, but there are some traumatic times there as well. The Beatles came out and really helped there was a lot of racial tensions going on then, and the assassination of JFK in '63, I think it was. So I'd like to get past that. I wasn't big into hippies, but the 70s, we started to get some heavy rock in there. So probably the early 70s.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Keep it going, Lisa.
She's frozen. She's frozen in time.
Oh, right. So have you... Okay. So who have you... Well, all right, let me put it this way. Who would you like to collaborate with that you have not yet collaborated with?
That is there. You see, it depends on the genre. Like, Phil Collins to me is a phenomenal songwriter. One of my favorite songs is "Against All Odds," which was, or "Take a Look at Me Now." I think maybe was the actual name of the song. and I thought he was phenomenal. And I also I love Seal, from
Oh
the
yeah.
easier listening genre,
You mean like
phenomenal.
Kiss from a Rose Seal?
Yeah,
Okay.
phenomenal stuff. Now heavier stuff, I would have to go back to, I would love to be, with Van Halen back then. Um, Move fast forward up decades. I'm a big Alice in Chains fan, Stone Temple Pilots. I love that stuff as well. I never stopped. Just because I'm from the '80s, known for the '80s, doesn't mean I stopped learning or listening or admiring or being inspired by newer bands. Um,
Right.
but it's such a loaded question for me, and there's so many bands I would and people I'd like to write with, but at the same time, Pat Gasparini from Four by Fate is a great songwriter, and we attempted to write together, but we didn't know each other that well, and we weren't quite in the mold to do it. We probably have far more fun doing it now than we did back then. And God, I don't know. There's so many bands I would have loved to have written for. Um, yeah, that's a good question.
There you go. So before we go to my next question, Lisa, if you don't mind just removing that comment there, we have a
Sure.
special request from my mom. She texted me and said she wants to take a picture. Can we all put up our hearts? Can we do that?
Yes. We do this all. This is what we love to do.
God, this hurts. Okay. There we go. Go ahead, Mom.
Hey, here, click.
All right, I'm sure she got it. She knew it was coming, so I'm sure she got it quick enough. That's awesome. So, Todd, just curious, what's the weirdest question you've ever been asked in an interview? Or ever? I mean,
Yeah.
That is another good question. What's the weirdest question I've ever been asked? God, I don't know. Usually people don't ask really stupid questions. There really is no stupid questions. I've had some questions that were kind of people are not overly thrilled with me because for some reason or another. But let's see, a stupid question or weirdest question, strange. Where did I throw up? I think was that it?
what?
Which is very easy. Many places. But one
Why
time
would
I was,
anybody want to know that?
I don't know. What color was it? What was the ingredients in your barf?
Did it
Jesus,
smell?
dude.
I got
Did it
definitely.
have a smell to it?
I got
Ugh.
food poisoning in Spain when I was with Nugent, and
Ooh.
it just kicked my ass. I mean, it was so bad that when I got sick the night before. We had a night off, and I went out for a pizza, and I guess I got some ptomaine tomato, and it was just brutal. And by the time I got on stage later the next day evening, I still had a bucket because I was still queasy, and I never threw up, but I thought for sure I was going to barf from that bucket, singing all the, and then I playing guitar too, so I was kind of dizzy out on the front stage, but that was the worst. And as far as throwing up, yeah, I threw up all night that day. Threw up all night that day. Yeah.
And what about like the weirdest interaction you've ever had with a fan? Is there anything that is share worthy? Can you share anything with us?
Oh, there's plenty of things I can share. I don't think I should share here.
Sure.
Yeah,
Maybe for our other show.
Yeah,
Business.
Maybe.
that'll be from the back of my book. I had, where was it? I had a fan that had followed me, this female, really pretty, but very strange, scary, and she kept showing up, and she had a box of things she wanted to share with me, and I never got to see what was quite in the box, but I'm not sure if they were living and at one time had been living. It was the strangest thing. And she would just stare at me in the van, trying to get, like she wanted to get in. Oh, and another thing, tour bus. I had somebody knock on the door because I just got done doing a show, And I opened the door and I said, "Hi, hi, ladies." Ladies, but they were girls. They're like really young. Like
Yeah.
to me, like 15 years old, 16 years old. So, "Hi, sweetie, you want a signature or something like that?" And oh, look at the Doug.
Chloe.
Chloe.
And so this girl said, "Well, we just like to come on the bus." They were kind of southern. I thought, "Yeah, no, you're what are you 12? No, I'm old enough. No." And I'm like, "No, there's just absolutely no chance you're coming on this bus because you look like you're 16." And that
Yeah.
happened. But and there's been other times like that. It's like it scares the hell out of you. But the I didn't witness a suicide, but when I was with 707, we had checked into a hotel, and the moments after I got there, the drummer called me up. Jim McClarty called me up and said, "Hey, look out your window." And so I looked out the window because there's only a window at the front, and here this guy is splayed out in cement. We were like 10, 11 stories up, and he jumped to his death just after we checked in. Yeah. So that
Oh.
was brutal. That was brutal. We're like, why did he do that? Why would, there's many reasons why somebody would be compelled to take their life. But at
Oh,
that
man.
time, I was 23 years old. I had no desire to take my life. I was having the time of my life, So it's kind of tough.
Right. To see that, yeah, would be hard
That's
to
hard.
see.
I mean, that's a subject that we hold very near and dear is suicide prevention awareness and mental health awareness.
Yeah, it's tough. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you never know. What the deal was with him, but it was the strangest, probably one of the saddest things. But
Yeah.
life.
Lisa, I know you
Hi,
got
yeah.
some fun questions. You got some more
You got any
questions?
more pets you're gonna hold up there, Lisa? You pull up a parrot or snake, maybe a kangaroo. What you got going there?
So far I got 2 dogs. The fish are in the fish tank, and our lizard died. So yeah, I got 5 cats in the other room, but I ain't pulling them out.
Hey,
So we'll go back to the fun question. If you had a superpower, what would you be?
oh, I'd be invisible.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would be invisible
Where would you
because
go?
many places. I'd visit Kate Beckinsale first off. I would be on a. I'll say it this way. I would be on a quest to go right a lot of wrongs and
Okay.
straighten a lot of liars out. That's what I would do. And
There
it
you
really
go.
has the invisible part has nothing to do with any sexual stuff.
No.
If I was 20 or 30, probably more so then, but now it's more like taking care of things that need to be straightened out or righted, wrongs that need to be righted. That's what I would do.
Awesome. I like
Flying
that.
would be good too, but then so you go, oh, there he is, boom, there he's not.
See, but then you can just turn yourself invisible.
Batman or Superman?
Yeah. What's that now?
Batman or Superman?
Batman or Superman?
I'd definitely be Superman.
Nice. And you said
think
Coke or
that too.
Pepsi, it don't matter. McDonald's or Burger King?
Coke or Pepsi?
McDonald's, Burger King.
Since we're on this dick.
I'm more like Arby's.
Ooh.
And I don't eat that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But I would,
right.
I just don't. I can't. I just don't. My wife's complete vegan now, and I'm not. But I eat more like fish. Every once I do like my carne asada. I won't give that up, but I eat that very rarely. Mostly fish.
Nice. Lisa, go for it.
Awesome. Okay. Who is your favorite musician?
Favorite musician depends on again what that would be for. Probably Sting.
Ooh.
Because he can write phenomenal songs. He's got great harmony ideas. his voice, his voice and his heart, really good. I mean, in that genre, it's probably Sting. Um, for the heavy stuff, heavy rock, there are a lot of new bands out there that are phenomenal. Um, but let's see. Go for rock stuff here. Favorite musician rock probably would have had to been that Eddie Van Halen.
Oh yes.
A big hug
Oh,
from
Eddie
Lisa.
Van
Hey,
Halen.
hey.
Thank you, the Headbang. Yes, I had them on the show not too long ago, and they're more than welcome to come back. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Todd. You're so funny.
I get my thumb hurts. I can't even.
So you say both.
Mine
Take
looks
it,
like
make it like you see, make
mine-
another C, and connect.
this more looks like. Well, yeah, I can't bend the thumb. But big hugs back.
Make it like you're looking like through the binoculars, and just bring them together, and then there you go.
I could do that, or I could draw a big heart, and bada bing. Oh,
There you go.
There we go. It all works out. Yes. Awesome.
that's definitely a butt of some hot babe bending over. That's exactly what that is.
That's the way you're looking at. Oh, the picture. Look at it. It came out.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I love it. I will be posting that
Yes.
tonight. Yes.
All right, so we're coming up on about an hour. We want to cut you loose pretty soon here, and so you can enjoy your evening. But tell us.
Oh,
he's having a good time. He don't want to go.
I'm having a good time. I don't want to go. I haven't laughed this hard.
No.
But so you mentioned your solo album, your book. Is that all that you've got coming up, or is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
That is
on
it.
The horizon?
Right now, the 3 solo CDs are out.
Okay.
It's called the Canvas series. There's 3 of them. The first one, of course, is Heavy Canvas, and you can see it there.
Okay.
Like I'm angling it so it doesn't. I was told to take the sleeve out, but this is more fun.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh no. And then the other one is called Comet Canvas.
Oh,
And
cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you put them together, if you get all 3, the sleeves go together. You kind of see how
Oh,
there's
get out!
Wow.
I love it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Like a
on
puzzle.
and
Yes.
this is my son did all the fun artwork. And this was
I was
our
going to
idea,
ask
his
you
idea,
that. Yeah.
his idea and my idea. He did fun. That's what he does. He does this for a living, anyhow. Not for music stuff, but for commercial stuff. And there's the other one. The last one is the easy listening CD. And there's well, if you overlap, I'm sure is a picture of me on an easel. Looks as a young kid,
That's
But
it. Yeah, it fits in there.
they're all
Yeah.
for sale at toddhoward.biz. And I have a guitar picks of all kinds of different styles that I've had done. I also have one other older album, and I have my book will be for sale there in a few months, I'm hoping. And I have T-shirts that I've yet to put up because I've had to organize this stuff. And this is something that Becca is going to be interested in. But T-shirts from 4x Fate and Return of the Comet. That will be on the site as well. But primarily, I just started the site to get my CDs out there. I haven't done any commercials. I'm going to do some commercials and some ads. I'm going to do a live broadcast probably. I don't know if it's before Christmas or not. Maybe before Christmas, kind of, saying here's where to get the CDs and here's a special Christmas price for them, that type of thing.
Okay.
But that is what it is. Yeah, 3 CDs. One is heavy rock, all originals. The other one, the Comet Canvas, is of 7 of the songs that I did with Fraley's Comet, all done acoustically. Acoustic guitar, and then the easy listening Coastal Comet, Coastal Canvas, is of easy listening music. So yeah, it's a lot of C's in there, But Ken. I don't know if you ever saw a movie called Fish Called Wanda, but there was hilarious parts in there. Ken, you know. Anyway.
All I'm hearing is caw, 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 caw.
Funnier.
All right.
That's what's happening there.
That's
My
awesome.
goodness. Oh,
And
Lordy.
remind us again about the website. It's toddhowarth.biz.
It's toddhowarth.biz.
Okay.
And I'm going to be reinstating my toddhowarth.com pretty soon, but I put this site up, which it's a Shopify site, so you can get to the products right away. And I'm very new at building it. I've got to get more countries involved in being able to buy some of the products, because I get emails. I can't log in. They won't let me buy from Germany or Chile or someplace. Like, okay, hang on. Let me see if I can fix this.
Very cool. Lisa,
Nice.
is there anything further from you? Anything that you want to ask Todd?
I do. You said you did most, like a lot of the writing. What is your writing style? And if you can tell us a little bit about that.
It's my style, what I like to write and what I think I sound like and what other people hear me as. People seem to think I sound a lot like King's X, which is a great band, by the way.
I love King's X, yes.
And King's X actually played at our record release party in New York for Second Sighting. And I think it was,
Wow.
I think it may have been the China Club. I believe that I walked in and I'm going, King's X is playing for and these guys smoke, and I was watching them going, oh my God, they're good. But I heard, a few of their songs, but I never emulated that style. But a lot of people told me that I've kind of got that a little bit. And there's typical me style, heavy stuff, and some piano, deep, sultry, haunting melody type stuff. A little Van Halen-ish, maybe a little Alice in Chains, a little Stone Temple Pilot, that type of stuff. New influences. And then I can put stuff in there from old school, like again, Van Halen, the Babies, Humble Pie, I guess. Just straight ahead rock. It's kind of big rock in the rock area. The easy listening stuff is thank you. The easy listening stuff is more just definitely me and the songs that I write in that genre. That's hard to pinpoint. But the Comet CD, it came out, I was just gonna do a real easy, just acoustical stuff, the renditions, but it came out, and I kept re-recording the songs because I thought, there's a lot more I could do here. And by the time I got done with it, and then I had one fan, he said, why don't you record what the hell? Let me look at it here. One of the songs on keyboard. He said, why don't you do Fallen Angel on keyboard? And I thought, what? That's what? And I said, you know what? Hang on. I started thinking about it. I said, that's a good idea. So I did it, and I credited him for this. But that came out so fun, and I think the Fraley's Comet fans will love that CD.
Awesome.
Looking forward
I'd love to
hearing
hear this. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I have one more question. Where would you like to play? Where would you like to go? Where you haven't been yet. Where would you like to go to? What place?
I would like to play. Well, let's see. I haven't been to New Zealand. I would like to go to Italy. I haven't played Italy. I've done Sweden, Switzerland, Germany, France, Spain, England, Scotland. I like to play Scotland. Let's see. I haven't.
You got to go to Canada.
Oh yeah, Canada. That's a given. That's always. I played. Yeah, I played. I love it up there. As a matter of fact, my one of my best friends married a Canadian woman. So and he's living real close to the border now, but it's got nothing to do with anything. But I love Canada up there. It was fun. We did the Rock Soldiers video up there. It was a lot of fun in Fraley's Comet. and places I haven't played is what I'm thinking of. But yeah, again, I have to sit down and write that list out. But um, yeah, Italy would be fun. Yeah,
That
I've been to
sounds like a
Japan.
nice place to go to is Italy. Yeah. My
Yeah.
daughter's Italian. I would love
Oh,
to see it too. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. She wants to go there someday, so that would
Yeah.
be a nice place to see, and
Yeah.
visit. And yeah.
Yep. Good idea.
Awesome. 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 Very cool. Very cool. Well, is there anything that you want to say? You want to say to anybody, your
Um,
fans,
you know,
your
I just want the people that are listening, the fans that are listening. Of course, thank you for being there. Then, thank you for being here now. I
absolutely.
appreciate the fact that people still want to hear the music. It's the only reason I'm doing this. I mean, these three CDs that I recorded over a course of about 5 years, only because I was in two bands while I was doing this stuff, and then I had some studio breakdown that erased a year of my work.
Oh,
So I
okay.
did, yeah, that's what took me so long. But thank you for being there. I hope that when you do listen to it, enjoy it for what it is, and look out for the book, the autobiography. I don't have a title for it. I was talking to my wife about that. I've got to get pictures going and an image and an idea for it. I'll probably have my son draft up a cover for it as well. But I'm sure that a lot of people will be interested in reading the book because it'll be about my early musical influences, such as I told you about tonight. My first bands here locally, and then who I ended up playing with in L.A., and then 707, and then the downfall, and then Ted Nugent, the downfall, Cheap Trick, the downfall, Fairless Comet, the downfall, back to Cheap Trick, the downfall. I mean, it's just a roller coaster of, after the first two times, I went, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. Never take anything for granted, or that's going to last forever, because it does not.
No, for
Got
sure.
you.
So I'm
Absolutely.
thankful for all the people that are still there listening, because they're the only reason I do this. I mean, I don't have to. I spent hours doing these CDs, and now working on my book again. I'm like, it's just so much time. And I'll probably end up retiring. I guess I don't know. Another 5 years, I may be done. I don't know. Well, who knows? Because I'll be 70 by then, and I won't be drawing this. I'll be
Hey,
drawing
listen, I'll make you a deal. You're not going to
something
retire
else.
until you're not going to retire until you autograph my album.
Well, hopefully, I'll still be able to write then. Okay. What's your name? This pen doesn't work. I don't know why. It's broken.
I'll have to
Bro,
send
give me
you.
another.
I'll have to send you the album. I'll mail
You can
it
do
to
that.
you.
People have sent me the albums that want, and I all I say is send me whatever you want, and I'll sign it as long as it's not your boob. Boob in the mail. But make sure you put return postage, and also I'll send it back. I don't charge for that stuff.
Awesome.
Love it. Love it.
That'd be
So
awesome.
what would you say to someone that's just first starting out in the business? What advice would you give to them?
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You can.
You better fucking really want to do it.
Oh, yes.
It is the most difficult thing you'll ever undertake. When I was doing music, I mean, I always wanted to do music, even though I was, riding motocross and all that stuff in high school. My yearbook, which I still have in this other room here, storage, it says in the back, "Future Music," and that's all it said, because I knew then that's what I wanted to do. And I pushed and I pushed, and I was an asshole in my bands because I wanted everybody to do everything right and go and they hated me for that. In my top 40 bands here, we're all still friends. We just did a show when I got back from Sturgis recently, and they laugh about that still. They go, "He's the first asshole that makes it because he's an asshole." But you better want to do it, and you better have something to. And you're going to hate this, but you better have something to fall back on so you can survive when the music doesn't pay you, because it's not going to pay you unless you're the new Taylor Swift. It is very difficult. Do it because you love it, and understand that you're going to be squashed so many times, and you're going to have to dodge the slime balls. But learn your craft, learn how to play, or learn how to write songs, and just do what you want to do, and always continue to be re-inspired by everything. But you better fucking want.
That's right. That's
There you
right.
go.
Follow your heart. Follow your dreams. Absolutely.
Thank you, Becca. Becca said it was a fun interview. Yay! Thanks, Becca. You missed the
Thank
part
you,
when I
Becca.
couldn't make it.
All right, Todd. Well, we can't thank you enough. We cannot thank you enough for joining us. It's been so much fun. Thanks for the laughs. Like I said, I have not laughed that hard in weeks, so thank you very
Oh my
much. I
God,
really appreciate that.
Love your
Um,
personality. Mwah.
We are
Nice to
gonna
meet
cut
you. Thank
loose.
you.
Nice to meet you, Lisa and Candy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. And
You're welcome. Come
nice
back
to meet you,
anytime.
Mern. And thank you again. It was fun. It was fun.
Absolutely. We
Yes,
appreciate you.
we had a
Anything
wonderful
final
time.
from you? Anything final from you? Anything else you want to say to your fans watching?
Just if you got pets, love your pets. They're family members. Do as much as you can with them. I got a little white dog is sitting there waiting for me at home right now doing this. Waiting for me.
Oh, what's your doggy's
Oh,
name?
Lexi,
Lexi?
that's her name. She's a American Eskimo. She looks like a little an Arctic fox. She's Snow White.
Oh,
Beautiful.
so cute. Oh.
She's a doll.
Beautiful.
You
She's
see
my wife and my dog,
cruise.
but she's my dog.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Well, thanks
All right,
again.
All right. Well, Lisa, go ahead and
You're
put a bow
welcome.
on it. Todd, stay online just for a quick second when we're done here.
I do. I'll put my pants back on. You better.
Thank you so much, Todd. It's been a
Very
pleasure. We really appreciate you being here.
Yes, we sure do. Oh, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Todd, for coming to Front Row Promotions. Thank you all for watching Front Row blah, blah. Promotions. Crazy for me to say. Let's try this again. Thank you all for watching Front Row Promotions. Thank you for supporting live music in the making, music everywhere. All right, Front Row Promotions, Lisa. Bye now.